Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Train Sim World 2 live stream. We are on the Tees Valley line in the Class 20. We're going to take two locomotives to move these steel wagons, loaded steel wagons, from the Lackenby Steel Works to Darlington. The service would then continue on to Dalzell. But we're going to go ahead and get in here and get everything set up. Hello, Ryan, how are you? A moment here. I think key, where's the key at? Feel like gotta remember where the reverser key is. Oh, it's over. I think it's probably over here. Your master key. Is that one? Oh, okay. So that one should be. There we go. Cab light on, or the cab heater. Headlights. These are gonna have to do. Insert lights on. Ooh, we are rolling backwards. We do not need to be rolling backwards yet. We don't need to be doing that at all, actually. Alright. Let me just... Top marker. Okay, I think we're okay now. The other one should be good to go. There we go. Yeah. Alright, well, we got some kind of lights. It's daytime though, so we're okay. Alright, so we are gonna go via this location. Make sure our switches are set before we move so we don't have an accident of any kind. I'll check the chat here again in a moment, folks. Sorry, I'm just trying to get us set to go. Alright, I think we're okay now. Hello, Amela. Hello, Bex. Hello, Patrick. So we have... Oh, we gotta go pick up the wagons. Ah, okay. We gotta go past this via point. We're gonna connect to the wagons and then we'll take off. Alright. Warnings NG Rob. I'm kind of confused by what you mean by that, Bex. That's okay. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the stream. We are on the Class 20 chopper, as they like to call it. We're going to take these wagons, these steel wagons, loaded ones. We got to get to our loaded wagons first. Alright, so we are stopping there. Move that switch there, and then we stop. Oh, it put itself in there. Okay. I'm like, what does that mean? That's alright, it happens. Good morning, Mick. How are you? Now, what we're stopping at here doesn't seem like we're stopping at a location unless we stop again. Yeah, we got 2 or 3 locations to stop at before we can depart with the loaded wagons. So I'm not sure which one we're backing up to get. I guess we'll find out here in a moment. So we get to do a bit of switching. Start off the service. And look at that. That's just... okay. And then again, right there. Let me just make sure. Yep, alright. Alright, we're good. Feeling like a house pet stuck indoors. Mick is happy I'm not dragging him out in the sun today, but I will be sending his wife a gift back for him. Oh. Stuck at home like a house pet. That's not good. So, while we're trying to line up our train here and get our steel so we can go to Darlington, I am going to do another service in the A320 today. It's going to be another about hour or so flight, probably an hour 20 or so, give or take. We're going to fly from Los Angeles to Sacramento. I checked out checked it out yesterday, and yeah, so we're going to do that. Got a little taste of the A320, and I like it. I want more of it. I like it, I love it, I want more of it. Okay, so we want to go here. Make sure all of our stuff is lined up. Okay. Would we fly over the secret airbase Area 51? I don't think so. I wouldn't even begin to know how to find that on Microsoft Flight Sim, like, you know, the overhead, you know, looking down. I mean, I could speculate where it is. I have no idea. I don't think that the government would want to acknowledge where it is. You know, if they put a marker on in the game, it may not even be the truth, you know. But yeah, I wouldn't even begin to know where to even look for that. So yeah, I couldn't. That's a tough one, Mick. That's a tough one. I mean, in theory, we're not even supposed to fly, I don't think, any aircraft unless they have, you know, you're not supposed to fly over military bases either, I don't think. Especially Air Force bases, but yeah, it's, yeah, that would be a bit of a... That would be kind of hard to find, I think. Oops. There we are. We are connected. Oh no, we're just picking up this these steel wagons, and now we're headed towards. So we're here, and so we're heading towards Darlington now. So we got all the rest of the way to go. All right, let's go full brake to make sure we... Alright, now let's release it. It might take a moment to release the steel wagon brakes. I think that's the one thing about this. The brakes take a bit of time to release completely, I think. One's completely released. Alright, I think we're ready to go. Let's try this again. There we go. We're moving now. Yeah, I'm so used, you know, in most services we just, you know, we start the service and we already have what we need to go, but this time it decided that that's not good enough. We're gonna go ahead and make you, you know, stop at a bunch of locations. I guess that kind of does help get your points up, because there's not a lot otherwise. So I think they built that in to get a couple extra. Yeah, at least 1,000 or so points right off the bat. So, and then, you know, hook up to the formation. So, is it more after sun cream? Is it? Poor Mick. But yeah, so we're gonna take off from LAX. We'll go up the Central Valley, kind of. And then we will land in Sacramento. We have an ILS approach and everything. So, yeah, should be a good flight. Hopefully we don't have... oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, I I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know what we would really see there, to be honest. Other than, you know, some buildings and an airstrip. I mean, if you flew over there in real life without permission, you very likely they would threaten to shoot you down if you didn't leave the area immediately. You know, like if you ever seen the video, like the documentaries where people try to go there and they've got all these high-powered cameras and stuff, and you have these people show up and, you know, saying, hey, you got to leave, or, you know. So yeah, I don't know. That's a really, I mean, I know it's a game simulator, but yeah, that's kind of a gray area. And I wouldn't even know how to put the, you can't see anything. Oh, well, yeah, I figured because they would, for whatever information Microsoft is using for their photogeometry, I think it's what it's called, they would have a, they would say you gotta, like, you know, muddy this out so that nobody can see anything. So yeah, I don't know that it'd even be worth it. So yeah. Oh, I don't think I have the right switch set here. No. Oh, I think I got it just in time. See, I start paying attention to the chat. We lucked out there. That could have been ugly. We could have had a derailment right there. Always check your switches. And some of these you can't rely on the game to do it for you, otherwise you'll have an accident of epic proportions. Isn't that right, Amela? Amela likes those kinds of accidents, though. It's starting with the looping sound now already. Yeah, try not to have any derailments this early in the service. Yeah, I don't know, I couldn't even think of how to put those coordinates even into our flight system or anything. I mean, you could kind of guesstimate or something, maybe, depending on your, but that's very precise flying if you're going Latin long. I don't know that they have any way of being that precise in the game. I guess in many ways some secrets are just better left untold, and you know, people can have all the speculations they want and conspiracies, I guess. Alright, so we gotta stop there before we can join on the main line. Okay, right there. Yeah, we gotta stop there before we can get on the main line. You can enter the... Oh. I get... Well, I wouldn't even know how to get to the system in the plane where I could put all that in. Like, I haven't gotten that far in depth, Patrick, I guess. I just am comfortable with the IFR stuff. That's pretty high, what's it call it? Yeah, that's a bit more than I'm ready to be prepared to do. I think. That's a lot of stuff. I mean, the only other thing though is too, if they've muddied the imagery, so you really can't see anything, then it's I don't know that there'd be any reason to do it. You know, it's like, what was it, a few years back? You had all those people saying that they were going to storm Area 51 and all that. And it's like, well, you're going to be 6 feet under, or you're going to be arrested for trespassing federal property. Is it really worth it for you to think that you saw something that suggests there's alien technology there? We could do that at some point too, Mick. Definitely. That's on the list of things. We could put that on the list of things to do. Just enjoy the game. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like I've not even I don't think I've even barely scratched the surface of stuff that you can do in Microsoft Flight Simulator. You know, there's many more things I think that we haven't even done yet. So, yeah. I mean, I do like the idea of some kind of aerial tourism, right? I like that concept. And with this new Volo, the new plane that's coming out here in the next couple months or so, it's not a plane, it's this revolutionary looking helicopter thing that I think that would be better suited for our little tours around, you know, like the Bay Area or Hollywood, for instance. We could go by the Hollywood sign, and you know, it would probably be much easier to fly than even the Cessna 152 that we've been flying. You know, so anyway. Yeah, and I like that because I feel like I've more than scratched the surface here on Train Sim World 2. You know, the only thing is sometimes it's easy to forget, you know, where the switches are, or the, you know, how do we get things going and stuff like that. Because there's so many different locomotives, it's hard to keep track of everything sometimes. But, you know, I do enjoy this. It's a very, you know, it's one of those things, and in a way it's a bit like Microsoft Flight Sim in that you can have a, of course we stop and then the light goes green. You know, the depth of your experience in the game is entirely up to you. You know, if you want the, we put this on the AWS, right? So we can put that on. Not that, I mean, the only thing now we have to do is make sure that we acknowledge the alert, and then we're okay. But it's, you know, it just adds a different dimension to the game, you know. Yeah, if we can hover near landmarks, that would be cool. I think we'll be able to. I'm waiting to see. I kind of read over that press release from Gamescom the other day about the changes that are coming. You know, the next update is here next week. Well, just over a week now, because it'll be 6 days. Let's see, Wednesday. So it'll be Tuesday, the first full week of September, we will get the next SimWorld update to the game. and then from there we'll have they've got a Junkers prop plane from the 1930s that's coming to the game for sale. But I don't know. The only thing is, I know I get the SimWorld update. I don't know if the content, the stuff that's going to go on sale, I don't know if I'm going to have access to that or not. That's the only thing I don't know. So I have to wait and see. So if we do get that, yeah, that is certainly an option where we can go and look at stuff, and we should be able to kind of hover in place. I think I don't know. It sounds like we'll be able to, because it flies like a helicopter, and it just doesn't. The way the controls are and everything it's very interesting what they've done with that whole concept. So I don't know really what to expect, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to buy it when it's released. I don't know if it's going only to PC first, and then the Xbox players will get it later on, or if it's going to be available for everybody. You know, there's all sorts of unknowns that I won't know more until it gets closer to being in the marketplace, if at all. You know, so yeah, that's. I mean, I like that they're putting out information and they're telling everybody kind of what to expect and stuff like that. Like the F-14 is supposed to be coming to the game, but is that only for the PC players, or are Xbox players getting that as well? And then I was watching the stream about the Airbus pilot. He was flying the F-14, and they have, well, it was a kind of a preview sort of thing, so not everything was working as intended. And then the aircraft carrier, it's not like they do even the animation for the launching of the aircraft. It's like you just line up on the catapult, kind of go to afterburner, and then you hit a button and then you take off. So it's like a catapult, but without they didn't have all the animation in yet for, like, you know, squatting the front of the plane down, or they call it, you hit a button, or this thing, and the plane would kneel, as they call it, and that's in preparation for launching on the catapult. You know, putting in connecting the plane to the catapult system. So I don't know if, are we getting all that in the Xbox version as well? He did say that the expectation was that with the release of the F-18 in November, that they would have a better carrier model built up for the release of that. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that, I don't know. I don't want to get my expectations set too high that, I'm going to get all this stuff, and then they say, it's only for the PC players. You'll get it 3 months later, or 6 months later, or a year later, or whatever kind of thing. I don't know. I think if they could tell people, yes, console and PC players will get it, then I think that maybe that information is out there. I just don't. Maybe I've not seen it yet. I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, there's lots of ideas and things that we can do, or, ideas in my head, that things I want to do, but I don't know if it's possible, or, because we're getting more planes as time goes on. I mean, I think the PC version has gotten a lot of content since the game's been out for over a year now. But I don't know when Xbox players are going to get that content too. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I try to, I'm, you know, hopeful, but I don't really know until things kind of start rolling even more on the console version. You know, if I had the means, I'd just buy a PC and have the PC version, and that would be that. And the only thing I would do stream would be, well, if I had a PC, I might as well buy Train Sim World 2 on PC, you know, or Train Sim World 2021, you know, because there's more content on Train Sim World 2021. But yeah, lots of stuff to do, that's for sure. But I'm excited about doing another Airbus flight today. I thought about going back to the 172. I'm just like, I think I kind of moved on from that, you know? It's okay. You know? So... I mean, I'm really excited that, you know, I'm happy that, you know, despite the hiccup we had yesterday, which I don't know if that was just a bug or if that was a in-game thing where suddenly you have some kind of a system, you know, like I don't know what caused that. Was it, you know, but the fact that we were able to land regardless is really awesome. You know, it could have gone horribly wrong, you know, but it worked. But yeah, I feel like if I go back to the 172, it's like when you drive Southeastern high speed after driving on the LGV Mediterranean. The LGV Mediterranean is significantly faster than the 395 is. So when you drive the 395, it doesn't feel as fast as it is on, you know, that the TGV duplex is. So you're like, well, this doesn't really feel high speed, even though it is. For all intents and purposes, it is a high speed train. So gotta love the Twitch bots and this whole "do you want to become famous?" It's become like a daily thing again on my streams, or not daily, but every time I stream now, I get those, at least one or more of those "do you want to be famous?" sort of things. So we're just making our way here to Darlington. But yeah, I'm really excited about Microsoft Flight Sim. Eventually, we're going to have to start flying some of the bigger jets. I do want to fly a 747 service. I need. One of the things I got to do though is I got to watch some videos on how to set the plane up, where, you know, all the knobs and, you know, all that kind of stuff, making sure that your flight plan is put in correctly, that it's got the waypoints and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I'd like to do that, but I gotta find it. I really wish that, because I like the way that they did the stuff for the Airbus 320. So if an actual 747 pilot created training scenarios for the 747, kind of like what that Airbus pilot did, I think it would go over very well. Because then people would be like, I'll buy it because I want to learn how to set the plane up. I want to learn how to fly it with all the systems engaged. What do I do if there's a failure of some kind or whatever, you know? And then you do you can do a flight where you put everything you learn into practice at the end, if you want to. You know, I think those would go a long way. Wow, 5 likes. Well, thank you all for coming in and hanging out. I feel like it's like people come in, they throw the like up, and then they bugger off. I don't know. There's a class 101. So yeah, LAX to Sacramento should be just about over an hour flight, but we're gonna do the whole pushback, taxi to our runway, finalize for takeoff, line up, and get airborne. Oh, hello, Daniel. How are you? Guessing you are home either trying to sleep or going to sleep. So you thought, oh, I'll go hang out in Rob's stream until he puts me to sleep. That's okay. So I guess there was supposed to be the preview stream the other day for Dresden, the Riesa to Dresden. That's the goal, though, to do a cold start of the 747 to show you can do it. It brings you more into it. Yes. Well, I mean, so the checklist, you could just have the co-pilot do all the stuff, throw all the switches and everything, right? And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but real world pilots know they have, for all intents and purposes, it seems sometimes they've got the checklist memorized just about, but they have to have that little book open to make sure that they don't miss anything. So we could do it that way, but I don't know, I don't know where the computer, like we have the little display on the A320 that shows we can pull up the flight plan and it shows our, all of our waypoints and all that, and it ticks them off. It goes through each one until we land. So I don't know where all that information would be. That's the only thing. So I've got to watch to see if there's a tutorial that kind of shows all that information. So yeah, but yeah, we'll do a service eventually. We'll do a flight, but it's the only thing is I'm a bit. I mean, a 5-hour stream is a lot. Even when Joe did the 8-hour stream on Cathcart Circle, that is a lot. That's a long time. And I don't. My concern is, I only have I have a very small audience. On average, it's generally the same. Maybe at the most, anywhere, I'll say the high number is 10. The low number is 3 or 4, right? I'm doing okay, Amela. I don't know. Just got a lot on my mind, I guess, sometimes, maybe more than I need to. But anyway, yeah, so if I'm doing a 5-hour stream, right, that's a lot of time for, and I know not everybody's going to stick around for the entire stream. So like if we did a service from San Francisco to New York LaGuardia, that's a almost 6-hour flight total, because if we do the pushback taxi out, take off, and then we're flying along. But it's a lot of time. So I don't know that it. I have to wonder: is it worth that amount of time out of my day to do that on a stream? Because I just don't think that many people would stick around for the takeoff, and then we get to cruising altitude, then everybody would just disappear. The chat would be dead, and then we would have what do you call it? Then it would be everybody'd come in just as we were starting to get ready to land. Oh, okay. Take care, Bex. So, it's yeah, I don't know, So, I mean, I'd like to do it, but that's a huge investment of time. So I don't know. I'm trying to weigh my options as far as that goes. Because I thought, well, if we do another Airbus flight, I don't think an Airbus flight would really be happening from San Francisco to Sacramento. That's just, because Sacramento is not that far of a drive from San Francisco. So the only reasonable option was to do a flight from LAX to Sacramento. So, yeah, I don't know. A lot of unknowns. A lot of prep work, I think, that I would have to do off stream. I've got to fly. I would have to fly the 747. If I did maybe well, I guess you could do San Francisco to. Well, that's like too much for a 747. But in theory, I could do it. I guess. Just to get some sort of sense of how it all works. Or maybe LAX to Seattle. I kind of feel like the days of the 747 are numbered if they're not already gone from the fleet. I remember the 747s growing up. That was, especially when Pan Am was, they had their huge hangar there in San Francisco. Because Pan Am was one of the ones that kind of pushed for the development of the 747. I didn't know that until I read a book about the history of Pan Am and the guy who started it. I can't remember his name. But yeah. Little and often, Rob, is the way to go. Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to figure out. So my methodology is usually if there's something I'm interested in, I may. So like 747, for instance, I need to look up to see if anybody's done some sort of tutorials on YouTube showing the plane setup. How do you plug in the information, all that kind of stuff. Where do you go to make sure your flight plan is in the computer system so when you hit the autopilot, it takes over and it knows where it's going. And then once I've watched that and kind of gotten a sense of, okay, I do this, this, and this, these are the steps, whatever, then I feel more comfortable doing a flight where we would do, I think trying to do a 5-hour flight right off the bat is way too much. If we were going to stream it, it would be only maybe a couple hours. I would feel more confident with that. certainly I'd like to do, like, if we went from San Francisco to Hawaii, that is an enormously long flight. You know, so I don't know. You know, there's a lot of variables that I have to kind of. I had a flight on Pan Am. Yeah, British Airways have retired all their 747s. Yeah, I think most companies, most airlines have, and have gone over to the Dreamliner and the, you know, the next iteration of jets that are more power efficient, more fuel efficient, less noise, all those kinds of things. So I would like to get the 737 MAX, I think it is. I think that's on my wish list, aside from the Spitfire. But the other thing too is all those things cost money, and either I have to consider, you know, because somebody's asked me the other day, well, why don't you monetize your YouTube? And I said I don't have over 1,000 subscribers where people could send in, you know, what's it called? Any kind of donation directly. You know, like I can't remember what it's called. Or I could set up a separate PayPal that if people donated and said, you know, for content like on a, you know, for another plane or something like that. That's a possibility, but otherwise I'm doing everything out of my own pocket, and that's not always easy to do. Super chat, that's it. That's the word. Thank you, Daniel. Super chat. Yep. So yeah, I don't really know. You know, I don't want to ask people for money. I feel kind of awkward about that sometimes if I say, oh, you know, if you want to see more content, donate here, kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know that I would feel 100% comfortable doing that. I think I'm more along the lines of we've got the content that we've got. We do what we can with it, and that's the best we can do. And yeah. So yeah, I think that's the best way to handle it. Yeah, I remember I flew Pan Am. Remember there was the two big ones, was Pan Am and Trans World Airlines. The Trans World was started by Howard Hughes in kind of direct response to Pan Am. Which Pan Am didn't like. They thought that they deserved special treatment and whatnot. Yeah, the guy who, I mean, the Pan Am was very revolutionary for its time, and you know what kind of air service they brought to the country, and then of course as air travel became more affordable, because it was only very affluent people could afford to fly. You know, when air travel first started, you had to be fairly wealthy to do it. You know. But I kind of know, I want to say I know the guy's name, but it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember what it is that started Pan Am. But anyway, because I couldn't remember the word super chat, because we were talking, somebody asked me why I don't monetize my channel, and I said I don't have enough subscribers to monetize it. You know, just in the 60s, 62, 63-ish. It's hit and miss. Sometimes I have like 65 and it goes back down. I'm under no illusion that I'm going to get 60-something people in here. My channel's not that big. So, of course, if my channel, if 60 people happen to come in here at one time, I would have to start assigning moderator roles, and I don't really want to do that, although it does help in some instances. But my channel isn't on the radar of the I don't want to. I'm trying to think of a polite way to say this. I'm not on the radar of the people who come into like Joe's stream, for instance, or maybe even Richard's stream, fussing about stuff that nobody. You could make all the suggestions in the world. Like somebody was saying, "Oh, I want to see this. They needed to add this in the game on Train Sim World 2. They need more Amtrak stuff." Well, there's a suggestion area on the forums. It's been said like a gazillion flipping times, right? Go to the forums, make your suggestion. If they can do it, they will look into it. They can, they can put it on, if there's something that they feel they can do, they will, maybe that's part of a discussion they have at a meeting. I don't know. But go there and put it in. Saying it in somebody's stream is not going to change anything. It's not going to get the route made, or the train, the locomotive, whatever it is that you want. It's not going to get made by just going in there and fussing it or saying, well, I want this, gimme, 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 gimme. If you don't communicate effectively to the developers and say, would it be possible to consider this as an add-on or a DLC or something in the future? Thank you for your consideration. That's the best way to handle it. But a lot of people don't. They come into Joe's stream, for instance. I want to see this. Why isn't this working? Well, have you filed the trouble ticket? No. Well, then start there. Coming and fussing in Joe's stream isn't going to fix your problem. If you file a trouble ticket, I know it sucks, but it tells them, okay, this is still a problem. Something hasn't been fixed. Or they can say, we're aware of the issue, we're working on it. So at least you have some kind of they can tell you, yes, we are aware, we're sorry, we are working diligently to fix the problem. I'm glad I don't have that in my channel, because if I do, I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna have to kick people out, because that's not what I'm here for. Because my first response would be, well, did you go to the forums? Did you file a trouble ticket? If the answer is no, then I don't know what to tell you. Move along, please, or you can stay and enjoy, but if you're going to fuss, I'm going to boot you. But that means I have to pause the game, or I have to sign mod rules, and then that takes away the enjoyment after a while sometimes of the people who just want to come in and watch the stream and chill and have a laugh. So I don't know. That's my rant for today. So yeah, I will look. I think I'm at a point now. I mean, Monday there will be a Train Sim World 2 stream, but not a flight simulator. I have an appointment, so I have to make sure I'm able to leave on time for that. So I don't want to get too caught up in a flight simulator mission. We're going from one place to another, and then we aren't able to finish it or whatever, or something happens and I want to restart the service because I crashed, or whatever the case may be. But so Train Sim World on Monday, no Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, so that's going to be my, I guess, my break day. So I can, but you know, maybe later today after we fly to Sacramento, I'll get get the what do you call it? I'll maybe look on YouTube and see if I can't find some 747 tutorials to kind of familiarize myself, and then if we do one, we'll do it. We'll fly from like San Francisco to Seattle. Even though I don't think that's something that nowadays a 747 would do. We're going to try it. See how it goes. But I mean, I guess the bigger question is, would anybody or everybody like to see me do a 5-hour flight from San Francisco to New York LaGuardia? You know, is there going to be enough interest? And if you can tell me that you would be interested in seeing that, and we can all set aside the time, I'm more than happy to do it. I have to get a sense that that's something that people would be happy to see or whatever. You know, I get the exciting parts of the takeoff and landing, but it's the flying part that's boring. You know, I always say, I like taking off, but if you could knock me out for the remainder of the flight and wake me up as we're descending into our destination, I'd be more than happy to do it. You know. Alright, coming into Darlington. Got a little bit more to go, and then we are stopping right there. I think all the switches are automatic, so we're just gonna kind of, I guess I could speed up a little bit again. So yeah, if there's enough interest and people feel like they have the time to watch the stream and everything, then I'd be happy to do it. But if it's going to be takeoff and landing only, then it kind of defeats the purpose of, you know, flying, you know, getting the plane up to cruising altitude and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I can't believe I'm almost at 50 hours of flying time. I think we're into the 40 hours now, so a few more flights and long flights, and we'll have we'll get our first achievement for flying 50 hours. Maybe we'll do like maybe tomorrow we'll do another A320 flight. We'll do, I want something, I think like 2 hours is a good, you know, that's more than enough. Anything beyond that, it starts to get a little monotonous. So if we do a Airbus service again on Saturday, I may look just to see what if we did an Airbus flight from San Francisco to Seattle, what would be the total flight time. I think that's like a 3, maybe 2.5 hour flight. something like that. Chat's gone dead. I don't know, maybe did I scare everybody off with my rant? Crazy. Well, I do want to say that I do appreciate that I have a core audience. You know, that, you know, I feel like you guys show up on a fairly regular basis, within reason, of course. So that's good. Oh, Nick's eating his lunch. Daniel's lurking. And Bella's probably eating as well. Beck's buggered off to see Nick's wife. I don't know who. I guess Ryan had to go. Although I don't think I saw his thing where he said he was taken off. He had to go. He might have been on his lunch break and had to get back to preparing to drive the bus again. So yeah, I guess a lot of people came. So we had 6 likes. We are the awesome audience. Yep, definitely. And I like that. I have a core group of people I feel that are you know, here. Patrick, I guess maybe he left too. Yeah, they gone down to the beach. I don't know. Patrick might have had to go as well. He might be eating lunch, but that's okay. See, that's where on average I feel like I get anywhere from 3 to 6 likes, give or take. So yeah, a long distance flight would be a huge undertaking, I think, for such a small audience. But I mean, I'd be happy to do it if there's enough interest as well. We're just about to hang a right here and turn into Darlington. If we're using our flight sim. Oh, Patrick's still there. Melo's still here. I guess, well, see, I guess if you guys are, you know, got me onto the background, it doesn't, I'm still learning how to read it's in current viewers. It says 4. I've got 6 likes, but now down below it says, the analytics say there's 3 concurrent viewers. And the chat rate is about 2. So I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of all that sort of stuff. So, all right here. But I do want to fly also. I want to start, you know, doing more flights in Europe. You know, I like to do flights around the UK. You know, to go around London and see some of the sights of London, Paris. You know, all kinds of stuff for Italy. I still want to finish up the flight there in Spain. Alright, we have reds coming up because we have yellows. So our red should be at our destination there at Darlington once we pull into the station there. Yeah. Anyways, well, I do appreciate everybody hanging out today. I know it's Friday. Usually a lot of people like to do other things on their Friday morning or afternoon. So, do appreciate you spending the time here. Ham and American mustard sandwiches today with the Coca-Cola. Ooh, that sounds good. Do you have crisps with that? I know it's not chips, but crisps. Yeah, are you having crisps as well, Nick? Crisps. Or as we just call them, potato chips. That'd be I would have to have a bag of chips with that sandwich, I think, and the Coca-Cola. I do favor every so often sea salt and vinegar potato chips. Alright. Well, I will say that the route does look fantastic. The trees look a lot better. The, shrubbery and the flowers here along the side. Everything looks great. They did a phenomenal job, I think, with this update. I know I was looking on the Dovetail Games website. You're lucky I can't eat ham, Mick, or else I would have told you off for not sharing. That's right, Milla. Milla does not eat pork. Yeah. I do love my pork loin, though. Oh, I love eating that. I don't think I could eat it every day, but it's certainly one of my favorite meals to make. One of the things that I saw on the all recipe, they sent it the other day about making these shrimp pouches, and you boil it. You put butter and some garlic and stuff in a pan, and you heat it up until the garlic is brown, and then you put uncooked shrimp in foil, and then you put that on the grill, but you pour the butter stuff over it. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I might want to try to do that and have some shrimp with my pork loin. I just put it all in the oven and let it cook. But I'd have to put in the shrimp like towards the tail end, like the last 20 minutes or so it cooks in there. All right, and of course we have a lovely red light right by our parking spot here. No, don't stop yet, don't stop yet. Don't you dare stop. We're not quite there yet. Right now, stop. Oh my goodness. Wow, it was ready for us to end that service. All right, that's going to be it for today, folks. That's not it for today. What am I saying? I will see you in about an hour and 20 minutes on Microsoft Flight Simulator, LAX to Sacramento, Airbus 320. So, yeah, there we are. I will see you soon. All right, take care. Enjoy the rest of your time until we meet again. All right, bye.